Nintendo has never followed the rules of the console wars, and it looks like that philosophy is only going deeper with the launch of the highly anticipated Switch 2. But this time it's not about specs. It's not about who gets more teraflops or who renders shadows faster. Nintendo is crafting a different kind of story, one that starts not with chips and power, but with a groundbreaking software strategy. Instead of sending early units to influencers, reviewers, or gaming outlets, Nintendo is holding everything back until one key piece is ready. A massive, console-defining day, one software update. This isn't just a security patch or system firmware tune-up. This is the real launch, the heartbeat of what the Switch 2 experience is meant to be. In an industry obsessed with pre-release buzz, review embargoes, and side-by-side performance tests, Nintendo is making a move that's as risky as it is innovative. No early leaks, no unboxings flooding your feed 2 weeks ahead. Instead, the world will discover the Switch 2 together, and that discovery starts with software. Let's unpack why this approach matters and what we can expect from Nintendo's next big leap. Rethinking the console launch. Nintendo is throwing the traditional playbook out the window. Historically, companies have banked on early hype, sending review units out to tech influencers and media outlets well in advance. The idea is to get ahead of any criticism, control the narrative, and build anticipation. Nintendo, however, is flipping the script. They're not just delaying access. They're withholding it entirely until after the software update goes live. Why? Because they believe the real experience of the Switch 2 can only be understood in its complete, updated form. And that's a huge sign of confidence. Nintendo is betting that its initial impression, when everyone finally powers up the system on launch day, will be strong enough to silence any doubts. This move doesn't just give Nintendo control, it levels the playing field. No sneak peeks, no early verdicts, just pure, unfiltered reactions from everyone at once, reviewers, players, and streamers alike. A new UI for a new generation. The first major transformation coming with this update is a complete overhaul of the user interface. The original Switch UI has remained largely unchanged since 2017. Functional? Sure, but felt more like a minimal placeholder than a dynamic console environment. That's changing fast. Leaks and insider details suggest a visually rich, customizable interface is coming to the Switch 2. Themes that adapt, folders that help manage an ever-growing game library, smoother animations, and contextual menus that learn your habits. All hint at a modern user experience Nintendo has been missing. No more, just wait until version 1.1. This console is designed to feel complete the moment you first boot it up. It's a shift toward polish, preparedness, and confidence. It's also a smart way to avoid early backlash. In a world where social media can turn one small issue into a viral nightmare, Nintendo is making sure that the first impression is the real impression. A live, shared launch experience. Another brilliant byproduct of this strategy is how it changes the culture of console launches. With no early previews, the entire community will experience the Switch 2 in real time. Social media will light up with first impressions, real gameplay, and unfiltered reviews, not rehearsed marketing beats or staged influencer reactions. This creates not just buzz, but trust. When everyone is discovering features together, it creates authenticity, and that's something money can't buy. Beyond the launch, a living platform. Perhaps the most important takeaway from this Day 1 update is what it signals about Nintendo's future. The Switch 2 is not just a static device. It's a living platform that will evolve, grow, and improve over time, similar to how smartphones have operated for over a decade. The idea of continuous, meaningful updates is baked into the Switch 2 from day one. That could mean seasonal features, visual updates, new ways to connect with friends, or tools for creators and developers that unlock even more capabilities. Rather than shipping a Switch Pro later, Nintendo could simply build on this foundation, keeping gamers engaged and developers invested. It's not just an efficient strategy, it's sustainable and future-proof. A boost for developers too. While most players will be focused on the end-user experience, this update may also have a major impact behind the scenes. Developers are expected to gain new tools that unlock more system features, faster rendering options, and better performance tuning. This is good news for both big studios and indie teams. It lowers the barrier to innovation and creates opportunities for games to run smoother, look better, and ship faster. With a unified system that evolves through updates, developers don't need to worry about multiple hardware iterations. They can target one platform and still evolve with it. Backward compatibility, a smart player-first move. One of the biggest questions any new console faces is compatibility. Will your existing game library still work? For the Switch 2, the answer seems to be a confident yes. Not only will previous Switch games run on the new hardware, but several titles may receive enhancements, smoother frame rates, better textures, and faster load times. This makes the transition far easier for fans who've already invested in the Switch ecosystem. No one likes the feeling of starting over. Nintendo's approach turns the Switch 2 into a meaningful upgrade, not a hard reset. Online play gets a long-awaited upgrade. Nintendo has historically lagged behind in online infrastructure. From awkward friend codes to unreliable matchmaking, it's been the Achilles heel of the Switch experience. But the new system update may change that too. Rumors point toward smarter matchmaking, built-in voice chat, improved party systems, and a more modern friends list. While Nintendo may never fully mirror Sony or Microsoft's online systems, this is a step toward parity and a win for players who want to connect. This is Nintendo's most strategic launch ever. Nintendo isn't trying to win a war of specs or beat its rivals with brute power. That's never been its play. What we're seeing instead is a masterclass in narrative control, experience design, and long-term thinking. By leading with software, Nintendo is making a bold statement. This console matters not because of its spec sheet, but because of what it allows players to do from the very first moment. Conclusion: a new era begins. The Switch 2 isn't just a sequel. It's a shift. A redefining of what a modern console launch should look like. By putting software first, Nintendo is not only avoiding the pitfalls of rushed hardware, but also creating a shared moment that feels organic, exciting, and community-driven. It's a launch strategy that values quality, continuity, and innovation, and it sets the tone for what could be the most important Nintendo platform of the decade. When the world powers on their Switch 2s for the first time, they won't just be unboxing a console. They'll be stepping into a new chapter, one shaped by updates, guided by user experience, and powered by the kind of smart choices only Nintendo seems brave enough to make. And if that's what the beginning looks like, we can't wait to see what comes next.